I'm posting this video because I just want to tell my story. It's not new to a lot of people. I've been fighting for justice for over 20 years for my son, um, for myself. But any mother, when it comes down to the kid, no mother, a real mother places their self above their kids. So what was done to me, I'm not really, yeah, it hurt me to my core, but what they did to my child, that was something different. Okay, at 17, I gave birth to my only child, a son, Zy'Keithean Bridges. My baby, the love of my life, even still now, 20 years later. I went into labor on December 31st. The only meds that I was given were meds to stop the contractions because the longer that I could keep him in, the better his chances would be of survival, right? So that's what was done. I didn't take any pain meds, anything like that, because when I was 3 months, I had a cerclage done, and I was given morphine, and it almost killed me. I'm allergic to morphine. So I said, no pain meds, no nothing. I'm going to have this baby naturally, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I said at 17, because the only thing that I was concerned about, and I always been concerned about, is the health of my baby. You understand what I'm saying? Throughout the whole time of my pregnancy, I'm in and out of the hospital because I'm on complete bed rest. So I'm doing everything that I'm told to do to make sure that I have a healthy pregnancy. I gave birth to my son. He's healthy. He don't need to be on a ventilator. He's breathing on his own. His second reflexes were good. Like, everything was good. Everything that they tried to warn me about, my baby didn't need any of that. Like, he was fine. So the doctor says that he want to put a nasal tube in, for his feedings, because even though his second reflexes were strong, they weren't as strong as he would like them to be. Okay. So if it's for the greater good of my baby, of course, yeah, we can do that. Okay, my baby's fine, no problems, everything. We're talking. He's coming home. They're gonna move him to Heritage Hospital in Tarboro. That's where we was living at the time. But at the time that we're talking to the doctors, he's in Pitt County Memorial, which is now Vidant. That's in Greenville, North Carolina. So he's in a PICU. Like I said, the only thing that he has is the nasal tube and everything. So he's doing everything. He's doing fine. On January the 12th, he was supposed to be transferred to Heritage, closer to home. So I can bring my baby home. He just needed to gain 2 more pounds. He just needed to get up to 4 pounds. That's it. So, like, this is all I'm being told the whole time. The whole time that I'm in the hospital, every time, I'm here every day to visit my baby, you know. Okay, so on January the 11th, me and my sister were in the PICU visiting with my baby. Like always, he's just smiling, looking up at me, with these beautiful eyes, and I'm just loving on my baby. You know what I mean? Like, this is my best friend. Like, that's my one. Like, our bond was so strong. Like, you guys can't even imagine. You know what I mean? So, as I'm just gazing down at my baby, like, my bundle of joy, like, this is my blessing, like, this is all I ever wanted, a child of my own. I know you probably say 17, who wants the baby at 17? I wanted my baby. Like, it never crossed my mind to get rid of my baby. Like, I wanted my baby. Like, that's just it. I'm looking down at my baby, and his heart rate dropped, and like this milk back up in the tube. You know what I mean? Like, he don't show any signs of distress, but I know that that's not right. So I called the nurse over. She tells me it's a burp. You know what I mean? Like, just fan me off. It's a burp. He's fine. Well, whatever. She going about her business. Okay. My sister's like, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? If it happens again, we're going to ask to see the doctor. Okay. Well, lo and behold, it happens again. You know what I mean? Again, he don't show any signs of distress, but his heart rate dropped and his milk back up in the tube. And I see that is like got like a lime green tint to it. You understand what I'm saying? So I know that that can't be good. You know what I mean? So I called the doctor. Called the nurse over again. I tell her again. It happened again. She tells me once again it's a burp. I say I've never known a burp to be a liquid. Anytime a burp comes up as a liquid, that's throw up. Like that's no longer a burp. You know what I mean? And she proceeds to tell me she went to school for 4 years. She know what she's talking about. Like nothing is wrong with my baby. You know what I mean? I asked to speak with the doctor. She tell me that the doctor is with the family whose child who is truly sick. You know what I mean? Nothing is wrong with my baby. He's being transferred closer to home the next, you know what I'm saying, tomorrow. Like, he's fine. Okay. Words ahead, well, whatever. Visiting hours are over. They asked me and my sister to leave. We get home, I'm calling like every 15 to 30 minutes. My sister said I'm calling too much, so now I'm calling every hour on an hour. Okay, but the thing about it is, when I'm calling, you're constantly telling me that everything is okay. He's either had labs done, he's being fed, he's being changed. Like, there's no need for concern, Miss Archer. Everything is fine. He's such a good baby. He never cries. Like, yeah, like I know this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm feeling like something isn't right. Like my breathing is getting shallow. My stomach is in knots. I keep having panic attacks. Like I know in my gut that something isn't right with my baby. And it just keeps saying, oh, he's fine. He's sleeping. Oh, if there's any change, we'll give you a call. No worries. Try to get you some rest. Okay. I finally doze off about 5. I get a call about 7:30 telling me that I need to rush to the hospital because my baby made a change for the worse throughout the night. That's all I remember hearing. I dropped the phone because like now my world has ended. You know what I mean? Like I knew in my spirit, like I knew in my gut something wasn't right with my baby. So you lied. You was lying the whole time. We get to the PICU. We get here before 8. My baby is laying on his back. His stomach is so distended that you can count every vein in my son's stomach. You can tell that my child is laying here in pain. From the jump, they say, we've given him so much pain medicine, we don't understand why he's not asleep. He was waiting on his mom. I get here, what the fuck is going on with my baby? Like, what's wrong? There seems to be a problem with his intestine. From the way that the x-rays is looking as if your son intestines are dying. We need to take him to surgery to see how much we can save, and hopefully we caught it early enough and he'll be okay. So I'm like, okay. But at this point, like I am fuming because again, like I knew. And I keep telling my sister, like they hurt my baby. You know what I mean? Like they hurt my baby. They did this to my baby. Like this is what I keep screaming out in the PQ. They say that he needs emergency surgery. So I'm like, when is he going to surgery? I sign all the paperwork as soon as I get there. Because I need you to do whatever it is that you can do to save my son. So I signed the paperwork instantly, you know. They tell me the surgeon got to be flown in. Why wasn't he called before y'all called me? When you seen what the fuck was going on with my baby? Somebody should have been on the phone with me and somebody should have been on the phone with the surgeon. You understand what I'm saying? Again, I'm 17. My guardian is 23, who is my older sister. You know what I mean? Like, we don't really know. You know what I mean? But I know that these motherfuckers have done something wrong to my child. We're sitting here. Like I sung to my baby. He finally went to sleep. But sitting here, we're waiting. And as we're waiting, I'm getting more and more agitated. And I keep saying, these motherfuckers is trying to kill my baby. Like, they're killing my baby. Like, that's what they're doing. I keep saying, where's the surgeon? Where's the surgeon? These motherfuckers tell me that they have TKRs. They have to go to surgery in front of my baby. For those of you that don't know what TKRs are, those are total knee replacements. So you're trying to tell me that a total knee replacement is more important than an infant who is laying here with his stomach distended to the point where it looks like if he is to take a deep breath, my baby is going to explode. So you're trying to tell me that a fucking knee replacement is more important than my dying child. As I am dealing with this racism, because everybody that's talking to me is white as a sheet of motherfucking paper. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Not one black doctor, not one black nurse. You keep right on trying to sprue all these motherfucking big medical words to me. You don't want to really break it down to me so I can understand what you're saying. I'm 17 years old. This is my first child. I want you to do whatever you got to do to save my baby. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to figure out is, why the fuck is total knee replacements more important than my dying child? Because that's what's really going on at this point. My son is sitting here and his life is like literally slipping through my fingers. And I can't do nothing to stop it. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I can't do anything. Like I said, we get to this PICU at 8 o'clock. My son does not go to surgery until after 2 in the afternoon. A surgery that was supposed to take an hour to 45 minutes to 2 hours took less than 45 minutes. I'm going off so bad, right? That they put us in the nurses' break room. Why you didn't put us in the waiting room with the other families? Because you didn't want the other families to hear me screaming how y'all have just killed my fucking child. Like, you definitely was negligent in my fucking son's care. The surgeon comes into the break room and he's crying. He has tears in his eyes and he's like, I'm sorry, Miss Archer, but there's nothing that we can do. All of your son's small intestines are deceased and it has affected the large intestines as well. So at this point, I just keep saying, just give me my baby. Just give me my baby. Just bring me my baby. Like, just bring me my baby. What else can you do? Like, y'all tortured my son, an innocent child. You tortured my baby. And the only thing that I can think of is because he was black. Because had you took my concerns seriously the night before, on January 11th, 2000, and did an x-ray CAT scan on my baby, you would have known last night when his heart rate was dropping and the milk backing up in the tube that something was going on with my son's intestines. My baby's heartbeat stopped in my arms at 8:28 p.m. We got here at 8. So on top of the hours that you were suffering before, my son suffered for 12 hours. Fault. No ventilator. At this point, he's been off the vent. They took him at 2, a little after 2. You've basically been off the vent maybe at 6 hours. Fault. So if an infant can fight for his own life, why won't you fight for an infant? And you took an oath to do so. You took an oath to be passionate. You took an oath to give your best care, regardless of the color. Like you tortured an infant. And I keep saying, they killed my baby. Okay? So, I buried my son. And I called a lawyer. The first lawyer office I called, they tell me that they can't take the case. They don't deal with that type of personal injury. But they were based out of Greenville, you know. This is where the hospital is. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll try to find another lawyer. They keep telling me, well, it'll be best if you wait till you're 18. I wasn't going to turn 18 until April. This happened January. I had my baby on January the 5th. He died on January the 12th. And I buried him on January 15th. Martin Luther King's birthday. A civil rights leader. And I did that because I already knew what I was going to be up against. I already knew that I was going to have to fight the system. I already knew that. This is a major hospital that's connected to East Carolina University. The whole time I was in this fucking hospital, they treated me like I was a science project. There was always doctors and nurses poking and prodding on me. Hell, the day that I was waiting to give birth, you had me up in stirrups for hours, bleeding. Keep coming in, like when I say digging, because nobody was gentle, digging in me, looking for sutures in the cervix. I am contracting in labor, back labor, like with no pain meds. 17 years old. Was treated like a guinea pig. And you mean to tell me not even one of the residents, nobody said anything? Nobody spoke up? Nobody? Okay. Like I said, once I called the first lawyer, I started calling other lawyers, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to start trying to find lawyers outside of Greenville. You know what I mean? I was contacted by a lawyer. That lawyer has now passed. And I've reached out to his son since to try to get him to take my case. The lawyer comes to my home, 18, in my own apartment, my first own apartment. He comes to my home, sit on my couch. I give this man the death certificate that was given to me by the funeral director. I tell him my story, and he sits there and he tells me in his khaki pants with his navy blue blazer with his little stupid ass penny loafers. I'm guessing that's what you call them, the shoes with the pennies in the top. You know what I mean? Sitting there with this dumbass fucking mullet, bow, whatever kind of haircut. Tells me like he's so genuine. You definitely have a case. They definitely was negligent in your son's care. I'm going to do everything in my power to get justice for your son. You got the death certificate. You got everything you need. He just give me a card. I sign paperwork. He leaves. I keep calling. The receptionist keeps saying, oh, he's on it. He'll give you a call back. He'll give you a call back. For almost 2 years, this is what is going on. For almost 2 years. You call me back. Probably like maybe 20 months. You've had my case for 20 months. The whole time you're telling me y'all own it. You basically, like, the hospital don't want to budge. You know what I mean? This and that. When you call me back, like 19, 20 months later, you say, you can no longer take my case because it's a conflict of interest. Your firm represents the hospital. Did you not know that your firm represented the hospital when you came to my house and said that you was taking my case? So what you did was came to see what the fuck I had to say so you can report it back to the hospital. No, that's not what happened. It was just a conflict of interest. From day one, I told you that my fucking son was murdered at fucking Pitt County Memorial Hospital. Like, how the fuck did you not know? And it was a misunderstanding. Like, you have the death certificate. The death certificate even says that he was fucking, like, he died at Pitt County Memorial Hospital. He was at Pitt County Memorial Hospital. Like, I don't fucking get that. You feel what I mean? Look for lawyers to give me the number to this referral service. They keep on saying they need a second opinion. My son is buried. A second opinion. Okay, an autopsy was supposed to be done according to the death certificate. The medical examiner didn't do a autopsy. What happened to my son is definitely traumatic. So that's a traumatic injury. So clearly it states at the bottom of the death certificate, due to traumatic injury, an autopsy is supposed to be done. No ifs, ands, fucking buts. You feel what I mean? They didn't give a fuck. When I say these motherfuckers didn't give a fuck the whole way through, they didn't give a fuck the whole way through. I've been fucked the whole way. You understand? I've been fucked by medical professionals, lawyers, housing representatives, mayors, presidents. Like, in the 20 years, I have written and called everybody that you can think of, the NAACP, ACLU, Rainbow Push. I've reached out to these people through Instagram direct messaging. Like, I've done any and everything. I've started a petition for my son. Like, you can go and look, Justice for Zy'Keithean. You should be able to pull that up. Like, I've done everything that I was supposed to do to get justice for my son, and still continue to do, because I'm a mother. Like, I suffer from PTSD from what happened to my son. I have anxiety and panic attacks at the drop of a fucking dime out of nowhere. Like, my mind races on a daily. I suffer from manic depression. Like, violent mood swings. All these type of things since I lost my son. I be mad and don't even really know why I'm mad, but I know why I'm mad. I'm mad because I was let down by a whole entire system. The lawyers out of state telling me that I have a case, but can't pursue it. You understand? Like, I've been fighting for 20 years. Like, since my son, this has happened twice. Not in Greenville. One at Beth Israel Hospital, and I think another one in Boston. Like, it's happened twice, and both times these were white people, and both times these people received justice for their kids. Didn't even have to jump through hoops like how I've had to jump through hoops. Like, you killed my baby and y'all didn't give a fuck, and ain't nobody gave a fuck, and ain't nobody tried to do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? But the first time I have a violent outburst or get mad and go the fuck off, oh, I'm handcuffed and shackled and sent to the motherfucking mental hospital. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that's all fine, because I continue to go to the fucking mental hospital about my motherfucking child, because somebody is going to hear me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't just kill people, kids, and nothing is fucking done about it. You understand what I'm saying? Because a person is black. So in your mind, what you was thinking was, oh, this little 17-year-old girl, shit, she already knocked up in high school. Oh, she'll have more. She'll have more. But guess what? I didn't. He was my one. And even if I did have 13 more after him, I would still fight for justice for my fucking son because that's my son. I birthed him vaginally at 17 after being in labor since December 31st. Do you understand what I'm saying? I birthed my son on January the 5th. Like, them pills just slowed down the contractions, honey. That labor was still there. Those pains were still there. Not to mention, again, the pain where you keep coming in and, again, like I said, digging up in me looking for stitches that's no longer there. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody said sorry. Nobody cared. Do you understand what I'm telling you? From the doctors down to the fucking nurses. I seen remorse in one nurse and the fucking surgeon. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to tell you how deep the cover up go. Like, you let the nursing staff and the doctors that was there when my son started going down, y'all let these motherfuckers clock out. Let the new motherfucking staff come on, and these are the motherfuckers that called me. And it still didn't stop me from saying, y'all killed my child. And I'm going to forever say, y'all killed my child. I'm going to forever scream justice for Zy'Keithean because that's mine. You understand? I don't need nobody to fight with me. Ain't nobody fought with me in 20 years. And I still go in and go hard and fight. I call the same people over and over and over about justice for my fucking child because that's my child. I've written to the Supreme Court. And these people sent me a letter back about something that had nothing to do with me or my child. I sent you a 12-page letter explaining what happened, how I've been done, how our human rights have been violated, civil rights been violated. They refused to give me my motherfucking medical records. It took 17 years to get our medical records. And I'm looking at the medical records. There's nothing in there about my complaint, my concern the night before on January 11th. There's nothing about my calls. Like, there's nothing. But I see that y'all are saying that my son was constantly having spits. You never said anything to me about it. But not once did you do, oh yeah, you did do an x-ray then. But why would you do an x-ray and not a fucking CAT scan? Why would you not try to find out why the child is having spits? Why not go above and beyond? You did x-rays. You didn't do an x-ray when you placed the tube in. And hell, because of what happened to my child, I went into the medical profession. I went to nursing school. I started out as a CNA. I did all of that. And I am passionate about it because I don't want nothing to happen to no one else's family that happened to mine. Okay? When I tell y'all my child suffered, as a mother, when you watch your child suffer, you die more and more and more on the inside. I was 17 when racism took over. I don't trust anyone. And when I say that I contacted everybody, yeah, like I said, House representatives, mayors, governors, presidents, I didn't hear anything back from 2000 until I wrote to the Obama administration And even then, they said that the email hit Michelle Obama's desk. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, I don't know. But whoever read that 15-page letter that I sent to them must did a little skim over, because they put me in touch with someone in the Medicaid fraud division, when I am clearly saying, as I've been saying the whole time, this is a violation of my human and my civil rights. Like, every time I tried to get my medical records, it would be, you have to wait 24 hours. Okay, I sign my name, I'll be back tomorrow, come tomorrow. Oh, well, we're about to go on break. Okay, this is a place that is 35, 40 minutes away from where I live. I don't have any parents taking care of me. I am on my own. I'm working a job and going to school full time. I'm trying to do everything to keep my mind calm. Because at that point, like, from the time I lost my son, like, I was so suicidal. I tried to commit suicide 3 times. Twice with pills. And it did nothing but made me sleep. And I'm living alone. The 3rd time, I slit my neck and both my wrists. And my friend was there at the house. And he called my sisters and rescue. And that's what saved me. I would have bled out. But when you lose a child, that's already a different type of pain. Like, no child is supposed to go before their parent, you know? My child is supposed to bury me. I wasn't supposed to bury my child. Like, my heart breaks more and more every day. And maybe if it was due to a higher power as to why my child wasn't here, then maybe I would be able to deal with it better. But this happened at the hands of man, and when something like that happened and you fight for so long for justice, like, it kills you more and more each day, each minute, each hour, each second. It changes your perspective and outlook towards the world, towards people. Like I said, like, I'm hella paranoid. I don't trust anybody. I kind of have a problem with people of authority. Like, even though I went into the medical profession, like, whenever I get sick, I make sure that I have someone at the hospital with me that knows medical terminology, that knows what's going on with my health. Like, I'm allergic to everything, okay? So there's times where you can give me a medicine today and tomorrow it almost killed me, you know? So, like, I have to have someone there with me that's gonna speak up for me and make sure that the person that's taking care of me is a person that's passionate about their work. Like, I don't want someone that's just here for the job, because in any profession, that's what you have. You know what I mean? Like, even with the police, like, you have some good police, but you have a lot of fucking bad police too. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing in the medical profession. You have people that's good at their job, great, awesome at their job, and passionate about their job. And you have the ones that's here for a check. The ones that's here for the check, those are the deadliest motherfuckers, because these motherfuckers probably cheated their way through school. But at the same time, like, they're just here for the check. So there's no compassion. There's no empathy. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to tell y'all my story. You can ask questions, whatever you want to do, well, whatever. I'm here for it. Don't come at me with no bullshit, because I will cuss your motherfucking ass out. Know that. Don't bring your ass up here and disrespect my motherfucking child. Don't do that. But any other questions that you want to know, like, I mean, I'm answering. And I'm posting this video too because, like, I know that this hasn't just happened to my son. There's a lot of infants that has passed. You know what I'm saying? Our black babies that has passed, and they probably have given you some diagnosis and you took it with a grain of salt, or felt like maybe what you was feeling really isn't what happened. If you felt like that's what was happening, then that's what was happening. Like, these people refuse to give me justice because it's basically all about a check. Like, you put the value of $1 over my child. You know what I mean? Like, I know that you was negligent in my son's care. There's no way, like, even after you kept these records for 17 years and tried to leave shit out and put shit in, like, you still see the negligence all up in the medical records. Again, like I said, when you put the nasal tube in, there was no x-ray done checking for tube placement. You're right in saying that he had spits. You did an x-ray, not at no time was a CAT scan done. Y'all tell me that my son needs emergency surgery. I signed paperwork at 8 o'clock. My son doesn't go to work till after 2 o'clock in the afternoon because of total knee replacements. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there was so much that was done to break my spirit that day, and has been breaking my spirit since. Like I said, I've been fighting for justice for 20 years. I got a job at the hospital so that I can get my own medical records. You understand what I'm saying? And because I wouldn't stop trying to get my own medical records, they fired me, saying that I went off on another one of the nurses. I was just coming back from having surgery. I ain't been back at work 2 days. Who did I go off on? I haven't even really talked to anyone. I just done my work. So, but I know that it was all because she won't stop trying to get her medical records. They're mine. And if you won't give them to me when I come to the hospital. Oh, and not to mention, I was banned from the hospital, Pitt County Memorial, in 2003 because I got into a fight. So I'm banned. When I call to get my records, I'm telling you I can no longer step foot on the premises. So I'm going to send my niece. My niece went, you wouldn't give them to her. I sent my cousin, you wouldn't give them to her. I sent another cousin, you wouldn't give them to her. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I've sent a friend who has passed. You didn't give them to her. You know what I mean? Like, why would you not give me my records? It still ain't going to change what the fuck that I know and what I've seen with my own eyes and what I experienced. You know what I mean? So that's why I did this video. Like, I just wanted you to know, like, systemic racism is alive and out here. violation of rights. Like, everything that was done to my son, like, it really is considered a hate crime. Like, you really tortured my child. Like, that was a hate crime. Like, you tortured him. You violated our civil rights. You violated our human rights. You violated our HIPAA rights. And nothing was done to this hospital. The state board comes in every year. You grab records, you know what I'm saying? Nobody, so that didn't ding a flag. A healthy child just went downhill in less than 24 hours. Because that's basically what you try to lead me to believe. Because this is what I'm saying. I was never notified about anything going wrong with my son besides jaundice, which lasted less than 2 days. I'm a preemie. I know my son had strength because he get it from his mom. I fought to be here. I'm still fighting every day. And had you helped my son in the fight, I would have my son here with me. But because y'all chose to let the little black baby fend for himself, I no longer have my son. So my son intestines just died 24 hours. And again, like I said, when I said something the first time, when his heart rate dropped and the milk backed up in his tube, if you would have said, let me call radiology and see if we can get him the CAT scan right now, maybe we would have seen then that something was going on with my son's intestines. So yeah, I don't trust people. And because of my PTSD, I stay in the house. It has affected my relationships. I have a great niece, I have great nieces, great nephews, and I can't be around people with kids for long periods of time because the hate comes in. I don't like to get attached to people's kids, and it's easy for me to do. Because even though I don't want to be around the kids, for some reason, kids love me. And it fucks me up on the inside. Like, I am happy for any and anybody that is blessed with kids. And all I ask is that you just do right by your children. Like, I know I would have been an awesome mom. Like, I know in my heart and in my spirit, like, I wanted that more than anything. And when that was taken, like, I drunk, I smoked, like, had a lot of sex, like, I had no feelings. Like, I'm still shut off now. Like, that's the only thing that really, really gets to me. Like, I don't let people get close to me. Because I don't want to lose anybody else. Like, it really fucked me up, losing my son the way that I did. Like, I wish it on no one. I wish that on no one to go through what I've had to endure and what I'm still enduring. I wish that on no one. Like, again, I just wanted to post this video. I've done this video maybe 30 times. And then most of them I'm like crying so hard, and I didn't want to post that because I want my story to come, like I want you to be able to get my story. I want even my friends and family that don't understand how I was one person one day and have changed into this person after my son. Like, hopefully this will give y'all a better understanding of why I don't participate in things, why I don't come around, or why I've become the person that I have. Like, I remember, like I said, this happened my senior year. Like, I cried so hard at my senior prom. Like, I didn't even want to go. I cried so hard at my senior prom. I cried so hard at my graduation. Like, every night I slept with a box that contains my son's belongings, and I cried myself to sleep every night. And I still do most nights, missing my baby. I replay over and over and over and over again in my mind every day what happened to my son. I don't get a peaceful night's sleep because my mind races all the time. Like, I am so full of anger that it's to the point where I grit my teeth. Like, I clench my teeth so hard and don't even be knowing that I'm doing it. Like, when I say spirit broken, like, I was so mad. I had an attorney tell me, just be an advocate for other people. And now that I think on it, I'm like, yeah, that'd be nice. But I was so mad, and because I was advocating for other people. No fucking body advocated for me. Nobody fought for me. But then at the same time, I'm like, how can I not? I don't want anyone to go through this and then not make the people who are responsible pay. Like, these people have went on to live their lives. Nothing done. Still practice medicine. Nothing done. How many other babies were killed after my baby? How many other people were you negligent in their care just because of the color of their skin? Like, I want, like, that's a question that I grapple with, like, every day. You know what I mean? And I come from a very religious family, and I'm telling you, like, what happened to me, it made me, like, I question everything. Everything. How? Why? Like, how could they get away with it? Why wasn't anything done? Why isn't anything still done? Like, so I just want, like, I'm just posting this to let y'all know, like, racism is everywhere. And you gotta be careful. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be, when this video posts, there's gonna be a lot of mad people. But I am speaking my truth. My story has not differed. I haven't wavered. Nothing has changed in 20 years. My son turned 20 on January the 5th, 2020. And I say the same thing because that is what happened. That is what I see every day in my mind. That is what I replay every day in my mind. Like, everything was taken from me. You took my son's first. Besides you spanking my son on his foot, I never got a chance to hear my son cry. I don't know if he was going to call me mommy. Like, I don't know what. Like, you took everything from me. Like, him graduating, going off to college, getting married, proms, him having his own kids. Like, y'all snatched everything from us. With not so much as a, I'm sorry, please forgive us. Let us try to at least compensate, even though it's not going to bring back your child. The only thing you sent me was a fucking card talking about coming out to grieve with other parents. What? But again, just be careful. Just be careful. Like, I pray over all our kids. I don't even know y'all, and I still pray for y'all because I know that the color of our skin is a threat. And like I said, I've dealt with racism before. Hell, in elementary school, a little white boy called me a nigga and spit in my face, and I beat his ass and was able to get over it. In middle school, white girl spit in my face and called me a nigga. I beat her ass and was able to get over it. With this instance, I wasn't called a nigger, but I was treated like one, and I felt it. I felt the spit in my face, even though they didn't spit in my face. When I say that I felt the disrespect and still feel it, yeah. So, like, I just want to that's my story. That's my story. So, y'all can stop sending me the videos about the baby. Like, I'm not going to watch it. I know that you have medical professionals that don't give a fuck. I know you have police officers that don't give a fuck. Like, every time I see one of our black brothers or sisters killed by police, like, that affects me in a way that most people would never understand. I feel for any mother that loses their child. Even if you lose your child to natural causes, I still feel for you. And I still pray over you and your family. And I just pray and ask that my prayers reach even in the midst of all my doubts and confusion. I still pray. So, there you have it. Thank you for your time. Wait a minute, pause, and don't forget, always, justice for Zy'Keithean. Justice for Zy'Keithean, my one and only, my angel. I love him, will forever love him, and I miss my baby so much. The pain of feeling your heart breaking, when it takes your breath away, I understand it. I get it. I get it. And I'll continue to pray for y'all. And if you can, just send one up for my son and always say, justice for Zy'Keithean. Like, you don't have to fight with me. I will continue to fight for my son. I will continue to fight for my son until the last breath is taken out of my body.